Well, unless you've been living under a rock in the last few years, and you happen to be a member of Facebook or Instagram, and you go on, you see something, and you see a little thing on a story that's been, oh, it's not right, it's wrong, it's in error, whatever. And fact checking was done, and that's been going on since 2019, when Mark Zuckerberg, the head of Facebook and Instagram, the guy who created all this stuff, got with a new company called Lead Stories. Now, I didn't know this company existed. It's a third-party company that checks all the stories on Facebook and Instagram, and if their fact checkers decide the story's not legitimate, honest, or what have you, they can axe the story, dump the story, put in their own conversation, put in their own wording in there, and turns out that many of the fact checkers for this company Lead Story are ex-CNN employees. I didn't know that. Well, Mark Zuckerberg recently had a meeting with Donald Trump and he had the meeting, and the meeting ended up with Zuckerberg coming out and saying, hey, you know what? I am going to get rid of Lead Stories. I'm going to fire that organization, and we're going to open up the Facebook of the other platforms like Instagram and what have you, sort of like X, what X does, and having the community handle the stories themselves. Well, the people over at Lead Stories are very, very upset that they have been fired. Well, you know what? I don't care. Because when I realize that some of the people at this Lead Stories who are editing people's stories, things that you write or I write or anybody else writes, and they happen to be former CNN people, and we know the mentality and we know the philosophy of people that worked at CNN and the people that continue to work at CNN. So, what we have learned that Zuckerberg had a come-to-Jesus meeting with Donald Trump, and Trump said, this crap's got to quit. You're done doing that. And now Mark Zuckerberg said, yep, we're getting rid of the Lead Stories company, no longer going to have the fact-checking, leave it open to the public. It is a town square issue. Let them deal with it, and that's where it's going to be. So, if you're someone that had something published on Facebook and then suddenly fact checkers come in and say, nope, that ain't legit, that ain't real, we're Xing it out. Lead Stories apparently was a company that did that. That company has been fired by Mark Zuckerberg, and they are not happy about it. I don't know where they're going to go, and frankly, I don't care. But now you know something you didn't know. Lead Stories, the fact checkers on Facebook and Instagram, have been fired by Mark Zuckerberg after his meeting with Donald J. Trump, and the word got out, and now somebody's on the street, and I couldn't be happier.